They wanna tell us that they made us, stripped away our culture and enslaved us. We survived through the worst time, and they did their best to break us. We played a game, but the game rigged. Now we woke and got our own shit. Everything was all good when we was worthless. Now they mad cause I got a God complex. I got a God complex. Now they mad cause I got a God complex. It was all good when we was worthless. Now they mad cause I got a God complex. A born deity, swag of a king, extension of the Most High, getting this bag for the team. Hover above all, they want me to have humility. Them same folks out here trying to suppress my ability. Spit divine words that manifest in the physical. So when I say I am money, homie, it be spiritual. Get it in this lifetime and shine in the next one. Never let nobody make you feel guilty about your blessing. Yes, I got a God complex. Now they mad cause I got a God complex. It was all good when we was worthless. Now they mad cause I got a God complex. I got a God complex. Now they mad cause I got a God complex. It was all good when we was worthless. Now they mad cause I got a God complex.
See, I am the eternal son walking the earth. Not a man, but I am that God that gave him birth. See, my womb is the gateway I bleed. Every month for Ashe, I'll be damned if you tell me what I am worth. Supreme being is mother, oracle and seer. Time to go to the Egon and ask the spirit to lead us. Medicine woman, our world is really sick and need healing. So now we welcome the divine in our spirit. Ashe.
I got a God complex. Now they mad cause I got a God complex. It was all good when we was worthless. Now they mad cause I got a God complex.
Melanated, they make it so complicated, and now we separated cause they tell us we're minorities. But we the Haitians, Jamaicans, even some Latins and Asians, some Cubans and Mexicans, we are majority.
Yeah, they call us witches cause magic is what we conjuring. Took and turned our words into spells and now we under it. Some won't acknowledge our power to the apocalypse. Unleash it on the world and send them packing on rocket ships.
Yeah, heart of a lion, land of the dead and dying. My bag is about that garden, my swag about ancient knowledge and tapping into them. Message from a pendulum, ancestors saying that it's time for the world to see it.
See, they wanna be it. We got the sands of time. Our DNA filled with to medicate the mind. We demonstrate divine powers that can open portals. They fear us cause ye are gods amongst mere mortals. They wanna tell us that they made us, stripped away our culture and enslaved us. We survived through the worst time, and they did their best to break us. We played a game, but the game rigged. Now we woke and got our own shit. Everything was all good when we was worthless. Now they mad cause I got a God complex. I got a God complex. Now they mad cause I got a God complex. It was all good when we was worthless. Now they mad cause I got a God complex. I got a God complex. Now they mad cause I got a God complex. It was all good when we was worthless. Now they mad cause I got a God complex.
Alright, y'all, peace and back power. Welcome to another episode. This is another episode. This is another celebration right here, okay? 2 years in the game. I swear it seemed like 4 years. Time fly when you're having fun and breaking generational curses. So, in honor and ode to what we just played, that was the perfect segue for this Insuring Our Black Future celebration. Normally, I'm just behind the scenes. I said, I had to come out the shadows today because we celebrating 2 years of perseverance, 2 years of consistency and persistency in regards to re-educating and reforming our mind from the tragedies of transition to the benefits of life. So we here with our healing goddess. So it becomes my honor and privilege at this time to introduce and present to others our special. She a guest today, okay? She a guest for a few minutes. Then I'm gonna get out her way because she got some business to impart to us. But I just want to take a few minutes to introduce the great healing mind of divinity, Goddis.
Peace to everybody who is watching this right now and to all those who may come across this video in the near future. I'm adjusting because I have, of course, my other camera in here for my Facebook Live so that this information could be disseminated simultaneously. So let's get right into talking about life insurance. This is Life Insurance 101, Insuring Our Black Futures. And we're going to cover, the basics today. And I promise you, if you are paying attention to everything that's going on out here, let me talk about how these banks are just really wilding out on us when it comes to trying to take out our own money from the bank. Listen, did you know that if you had your money in a cash value life insurance policy, you wouldn't even have to be dealing with the banks? Like, the banks will be null and void if you had a cash value life insurance policy. You would literally be able to take money from your own life insurance that won't affect it depending on how it's set up and use that money for whatever you want it for. We get caught up in trying to keep our money in banks and all of these institutions that treat us like crap that we forget there are other means out here to accumulate our wealth and to be able to still pass it down and not have that level of interference. And that's what cash value life insurance. I talk about this all the time on here, and I try to encourage people to read up and become more knowledgeable about cash value policies. And we have to really get out of the mindset, period, that having life insurance is not beneficial, because it absolutely is beneficial to us. We keep seeing all of these GoFundMe's coming up. We keep seeing all of these people having to do fish fries and GoFundMe's, car washes and all of this other stuff, because life insurance is the last thing on our minds when it should absolutely be the very first thing on our mind. Even if it's just a policy to pay for a funeral, we need to have these things in place, because our families are already struggling financially. Look at everything that's going on out here. Rent is increasing. Foreclosures are about to be out of control because of the things that they put in place to kind of help people throughout this pandemic are now finally starting to be lifted. The restrictions are starting to be lifted. The evacuation, I forget what they're called, but all of that stuff is about to be lifted.
Moratorium.
There you go. I was like, I don't know what that thing is called, but it's about, all of this stuff is about to be lifted, and people are about to really be out here struggling because we are not taking the time to acquire the knowledge that we need in order to move our families forward. Things that we need to learn about so that we can have these things put in place. We need to learn about life insurance. We need to learn about all the different kinds of life insurance that are out there so that we can make sure we have the type of life insurance that is most beneficial for our current situation. If you are limited in funds right now, get a small policy that will cover a funeral. As you become more financially stable, you can always switch your life insurance around, provided you are still healthy and all of those things that go into effect when it comes to being able to qualify for life insurance, because you do have to qualify for it. You have to, for traditional life insurance anyway. Let me say that, because if you are unhealthy and over 40 and you've been getting declined for traditional life insurance, there are still policies out here that you qualify for. They're called guaranteed issue. Please do not, whatever you do not sign up for an accidental death policy. That should be an add-on to your traditional life insurance policy if you qualify for it. Accidental death life insurance states specifically the ways that you have to die in order for that policy to pay out. We get caught up on, oh, I can get $250,000 in coverage for $10 a month, but we didn't read the fine print to see that it's just an accidental death policy, and that all of these stipulations are in place as far as how you have to pass in order for this money to be paid out. And then your family is sitting here upset because they're not going to get any money from this if you don't die the specific way that this policy states. So we have to do our due diligence and read up on these policies. We also have to stop taking advice about life insurance from people who are not licensed or have never held a license. People get so caught up listening to Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey has never had a life insurance license. He's never taken any state test. Dave Ramsey is a paid spokesperson. People get so caught up listening to Susie Orman. Now, Susie Orman did start off doing life insurance. She had a whole firm that used to do whole life insurance until she figured out she could make more money having a brokerage where people could invest their money in the stock market. And that's how she became even richer. She made a boatload of money selling whole life insurance, but she was approached by a company and got out of the business of selling life insurance and bought a brokerage house. So now she's just making astronomical amounts of money, steering people towards buying term and investing the difference, not realizing they're investing in the stock market. The stock market fluctuates. So you have to be very mindful of where you are getting your information from, who you are choosing to follow, because the people, if they're telling you that there is only one way for this stuff to play out, that should be a red flag to you, because guess what? There is no one size fits all life insurance. It's not. Everybody's needs, goals, and long-term things that they want in place are different. But again, you got to do your due diligence. You have to do your due diligence. Talk to multiple brokers. Talk to multiple people who are actual brokers and not specifically assigned to one company. Because if they're assigned to one company, if all they can offer you is, well, this is what my company has to offer, then that's all. You're never going to know about the other policies out there that could potentially benefit you more, because that's all they can offer you. You can't go to a Honda dealership and BMW has a better car and Honda tell you, well, go get that BMW because it's a better car than this Honda. And I'm just using this as an example. Again, you got to know, like, these people are specific to this company. So you want to talk to a broker. A broker is somebody who is licensed or contracted rather with multiple companies, so they can shop around and look at all the options available to you. So you're not pigeonholed into this one thing. They can tell you what's going to be most beneficial for you and your financial situation and your long-term goals. Those are the kind of things you want to take into consideration. Don't listen to Uncle Earl. Don't listen to Daddy. Don't listen to your best friend's mother's aunt's cousin, sister, brother, just because they sound like they know what they're talking about. If they don't have an actual life insurance license, they can't tell you what's going to be most beneficial for you. And people will sit here all the time and be like, well, I'm just going to save money for my funeral. The average American right now is struggling. If you have money put away, that's great. But why would you want to take money out of your savings to pay for a funeral when an insurance company will cut you a tax-free check. And so your savings never has to be touched. Make that make sense to me. So let's go over some basics when it comes to life insurance. So the things that insurance companies are looking for traditional life insurance, again, I already told you, if you have health issues and you're over 40, you can qualify for what's called a guaranteed issue. Means there's no medical, they're going to cover you automatically. There is a 2-year term, 2-year period to where it will pay out fully after that 2 years. If you pass within the first 2 years, they are going to reimburse your family all the money that was paid into the policy plus 10%. So if you're healthy, you don't have any health concerns, and you qualify for traditional life insurance, meaning you don't have a plethora of medical concerns and you're not taking a bunch of different medications. So they're looking for the healthy individuals for traditional life insurance. So meaning like obesity, cancer, AIDS, HIV, severe mental disorders. Those are the things that could potentially disqualify you for traditional life insurance. Every single company has different stipulations, but if you have major health concerns, these companies are not going to qualify you for their products, whether it's term, whole life, index universal life, whatever the case may be. You're going to need to look into a guaranteed issue policy if you're over 40. So they're looking at those health factors. They want to try to cover you. They want to try to cover the healthiest people possible because, you know, essentially they don't want to have to pay out, but they will. And it's still contestable. If you pass away within the first 2 years of having any sort of policy, they can contest it. You know, especially if you lied about your health or you didn't disclose, you know, if you didn't disclose something that's basically the same thing as lying about your health, like they can contest it and not pay out. There's so many different things that we have to be conscientious of when it comes to what we're putting on these applications, because it could come back to bite our family in the ass. And that's what we don't want to do. We want to make sure that we're setting our families up for success. We want to make sure that we're setting them up so we're actually leaving money behind so that we can start to create generational wealth. And that is how a lot of these different families have acquired their wealth, is through inheritances from life insurance. So we need to stop looking at life insurance as a bill and look at it as an investment. It's an investment for your family, because the proceeds from that are going to keep them from going further into debt. And depending on how much money you're leaving behind, it could potentially set them up financially for their future. And that is supposed to be, that's what we're supposed to leave the next generation better off than we were. We have to stop making people start from scratch just because, well, nobody gave me anything, so I'm just gonna not leave anything behind. Like, why would you have that mindset and think that's okay? That's definitely not okay. We're supposed to be out here breaking generational curses, creating generational wealth, setting the next generation up to be better than our generation was. That's what we are supposed to do as parents, as aunts, as uncles, as mentors. We're supposed to be teaching people all of the tricks that we wish somebody had taught our parents, so we would have been better off. You know, some of our grandparents did know about life insurance. Some of our grandparents had life insurance on our parents, you know, but a great majority of them didn't. So we have to start looking at, hey, checking with your circle. Who's in your circle? Talk to them to make sure that they're straight. Because if they're not, you know, if somebody is close to you that doesn't have life insurance and their family knows you, they're going to hit you up for some money when this person passes away because they didn't have things set up already in place for that. So we have to stop being reactive and start being proactive. You know, again, if all you can afford right now is a small policy, start with that. Start with that and build on it. You can always build and add different policies later. You don't have to try to get the biggest policy you can get right now, especially if you're not financially stable to afford it, because you want to be able to pay for this every single month. You want to be able to invest in this. Let me stop saying pay. You want to be able to invest in this policy every single month so that when you pass away, your family doesn't have to worry about where we're going to come up with this money to pay for this funeral. Your life insurance is going to do that for them. That is your responsibility, is to not be a burden on your loved ones. So we have to make sure that we are getting life insurance when we know that we have to get this stuff set up. I know this is not scripted. This is me just talking my thoughts and everything. And so, but the main thing we have to do is stop procrastinating with this. Get a will in place. Get a living will in place. Get your life insurance in order. All the things we don't think about, but is ultimately a responsible adult's job to do. Like, these are the things that we're supposed to have in order. Life insurance, savings, investments plans, all of this stuff. Start off small with everything and just build on it from there. Continue to build and spread this knowledge. Like, we got to stop hoarding knowledge, because I guarantee you, listen, I've been doing life insurance now for 6 years, and I had to learn to stop worrying about who's not listening and getting the message, and just keep putting the message out there, because the people who want the information are going to gravitate towards it. The people who need this information, they're going to come across it. So that's all I'm concerned with. I'm not concerned with who's not paying attention. My focus is on the people that are listening. My focus is on the people who will hit me up after this and say, hey, you know what? Me and my family need some life insurance. When can we schedule an appointment with you? Me and my family want to make sure we got solid wills put in place. When can we get with you to get this taken care of? That's what I'm worried about. That's my job. That's my focus, is the people who want this information. And I'm going to continue to put it out here, whether it's 3 people or 3,000 people who actually come across this live. That's our responsibility, to make sure we have this stuff set up. And if you are healthy right now and you don't have life insurance, I highly encourage you to do this right now, because today is the youngest and healthiest you are ever going to be. You have no idea what tomorrow is going to bring. You have no idea what the next 6 months is going to bring, the next year is going to bring. So if you are procrastinating today, if you have zero life insurance, and if all you have is a work policy, you ain't got life insurance. Get a policy outside of your job. If you are an adult and the only policy that you have is the one that your parents are paying for, you don't have life insurance, because if they die right now, that policy goes away. Become a responsible adult. Get your own policy and stop procrastinating, so you know what is covered, what you're covered with. You know how much the policy is for. You know how it's going to pay out when you die. You know who this money is going to go to, and stop relying on everybody else. This is your responsibility. It's your life. It's not your parents' life. It's not your job's life. It's yours. It's your responsibility. So put these policies in place now. Again, if all you can get is a small policy to make sure that nobody has to come out of their pocket for your funeral, that's great. I guarantee you, not a single person alive that cares about you is going to be like, oh man, I can't believe all they had was a $25,000 policy. That $25,000 just paid for your funeral. That means they didn't have to try to scrounge and come up out of their savings, if they even have a savings, to do that. That's part of being a responsible adult. You cannot call yourself a responsible adult if you don't have life insurance. I'm sorry. A will you can get away with not having. But life insurance, if you don't have life insurance, you are not a responsible adult. It doesn't matter if you don't have a spouse. It doesn't matter if you don't have children, because at the end of the day, somebody still has to pay for your funeral when you die. So if you don't have life insurance, sweetheart, you are not a responsible adult. And if you want to know what kind of health concerns or health issues or health questions are on a life insurance application, you are more than welcome to inbox me. or you can call me or text me at 702-330-5706. Or you can email me at dawn@genwealthagency.com, and I will be more than happy to go over the general health questions that are on there, so you know whether or not you need to go the traditional life insurance route, or if you're only going to qualify for guaranteed issue. That's up to your health and your budget, what you can afford and what you qualify for. Outside of that, if you need a will done and you live in Nevada, I can assist you with that as well. I can type it up for you and notarize it for you. So let's make sure we start getting these wills in place. Let's get life insurance in place. Last but not least, that was two of my businesses right there, life insurance and mobile notary. Third thing is focus on your healing and your health, your overall mental, spiritual, emotional, and physical well-being. It's so much crazy stuff going on right out here right now, and so many people are struggling. So many people are drowning, and it's because you're not putting you first. You have to put you first. Whether you are a parent, a spouse, or whatever the case may be, you have to put you first, because you cannot properly take care of anybody else if you are not at your best. You cannot pour into anybody else if you are empty. You cannot give love, give light, give healing, give anything positive if you are drained. Take care of you. Put you first. Be selfish. Put you first, because in putting you first, you become a better person for the people who depend on you, be it your spouse or your children. I ain't worried about your job. You treat that however you want to treat that, because at the end of the day, your job really don't give a fuck about you. Because I guarantee you, if you die right now, they will have your position filled within the next couple of days, and they ain't gonna skip it. They're not gonna miss a beat unless you are the CEO of the company. Outside of that, if you just work there, listen, stop burning yourself out for these jobs that will dispose of you whenever they fucking feel like it. Take care of you. Pour into you. Be your best for you. That's all that you can do. Again, in you doing that, you become better for everybody around you. And that's what it's all about. Being your best self so that you can inspire others to be their best selves and show them how to be their best selves, because you're being your best self by putting you first. That's my third business. My last business is skincare and jewelry products. Soulful Creations 23. I literally just got finished making some crystal sets for an event that I'm doing this Saturday. I got some Florida water over there ready to go for this Saturday. All the things that you need to keep your mental, spiritual, and physical self protected. I got you covered. I have you covered from healing to life insurance to notary to skincare. I got you covered. And if you need to reach me for any of those services, 702-330-5706. My voicemail will list out all of those companies and services for you. And you can hit me up. And like I said, I got you covered. Whatever it is, I literally have you covered. And if I don't have you covered, I guarantee you I know somebody else that has what you need, because of networking, because of my connections, because of my circle, because of my tribe, because of the people I choose to surround myself with that are out here doing the things that the community needs. I got you covered. And right now I need to go take care of a notary client. So with that being said, thank you guys for tuning in to Insuring Our Black Future, Life Insurance 101, the basics. Please get your life insurance, you guys. And I will see you next month on the third Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, y'all. Peace and blessings, love and light to y'all.
Hypno music.
Yeah, gotta let it go. Knees on the ground and I let it go. Yeah, I'm loving my life. Yeah, I'm loving my life. Yeah, gotta let it go. some love in my life. Hey, that's from my downfall. Living in the past, they don't let it go. Living my life, standing the test of time. Shake it down to my left. Shake it down to my right. Reach towards the sky and wind it round and feel fine. Shake it down to my right. Shake it down to my left. 'Cause I'm feeling blessed, feeling at my best. Oh yeah.
All right.